Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Monday.
Hi.
Hi, sorry for the tardiness. Um, it was Maya's fault. Uh,
My fault. All my
I know,
fault.
right? I got caught up with showing missed what the time was. So, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Maximize Monday. Today, it is no next week is the last Monday in the month.
Can you
Uh,
believe it?
I know fall is here. We can't even get past fall without some of these Christmas people. We still in pumpkin spice season, and you know, you start listening to Christmas music already.
I listened to one album that
Which one?
just came out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You don't want to say it publicly.
It's Gavin DeGraw.
I
He
don't even
came
know
out
who
with
that is.
he came out with the Christmas album, so I listened to that.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was nice.
Okay,
Got me in the Christmas mood.
okay. Hi, Karen. How are you? We can't even get
Hey,
past
Karen.
Thanksgiving, but it's okay
It's all one thing. It's a holiday season.
though. No, I mean I listen to Christmas music a little early, but usually once Thanksgiving's over, it's time.
Yeah.
It is time. So welcome everybody again to Maximize Monday. Apologize for the tardiness. Um, but we're glad that you are all here with us today. Please do us a favor and share. Get somebody on. Thank you for all those who came yesterday to service. God met us as usual. We had a great time at our fall festival after service with giveaways. We did balloons, pumpkins, did all that stuff, played music, had a good time. And again, we're just so glad that for those who stopped by, uh, yeah, it was good. If it's your first time, please type VIP in the chat. Uh, Also, you want to, uh, if you're watching, it's normal, but you usually don't comment. Just comment. Let us know who's watching. We know we see the number, you know, but we'd love to see
Yeah.
if you never commented. Just say hello.
Yeah.
That's we love to hear from you.
I want you guys to be part of the conversation.
Yeah, talk to us.
Me push.
Hey, Stephanie, how you doing?
How
All right, let me settle myself down.
you doing?
Russian, and I'm sleepy. Hello, Bishop Spadano. How are you? Welcome, and I'm so glad you all can join us today. Uh, Welcome for New Life Church. We're glad you're here. And whoever Facebook user is, hello. You must be in our connections room
Mhm.
watching. Why don't the names come up in because it's a private group?
I think it happens for all groups on Facebook.
Okay.
But there's an option where they can have their name shown.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. So we've been talking about worship and the various ways that worship looks from service, sacrifice. Um, oh, hey, Ava, what's up? Service and sacrifice, love and how we treat each other, um, and how all that works together and prioritizing and keeping God at the center.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember a few years ago, I tell the story sometimes, but I was praying and the song, Lord, I love you more than anything. I just want
Mm-hmm.
to say, and I'm like, I said it, I was like, Lord, I love you more than anything. And something was like, really? Really?
Yeah.
The song is more of an ideal than it is a true reality
Mm-hmm.
because I wonder if we all really love God more than anything.
Yeah.
And usually most people say yes, but I'm learning more and more how much our actions reveal more than our intentions,
Mm-hmm.
and our behavior reveals more than our feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I think when we say, Lord, I love you more than anything, the Lord is the number one in my life, the head of my life, He is priority. I know looking at it now, it's more of an ideal in the sense of a goal for us to achieve in Christ
Yeah.
rather than an actual reality. Now, some of us think it's a reality when it's not always a reality.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you reduce love to emotion and a feeling, we'll sit there and say, well, I love God, I appreciate him because the way I feel, right? But does our behavior and our actions reveal that? Because I'm learning more and more that our subconscious, the thing that is second nature to us that we do without thinking,
Mm-hmm.
really reveals our desires
Yep.
and our love.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, you ever been there before where you told yourself, I'm gonna do right, I'm gonna do right, I'm gonna do right. And then all of a sudden you find yourself doing the exact opposite of what you
Mm-hmm.
keep telling yourself you're going to do. It's because we're trying to change ourselves on a conscious level when there's a lot of subconscious things. It's what they call
Yeah.
an iceberg that's really motivating us. You know, you see a little bit top, but it's the deep stuff, the iceberg at the bottom that's really driving a lot of who we are as individuals. And
Yeah.
I would love to say that, you know, there are that every day, every moment of the day, I love God more than anything. But is that really, really the truth based on our behavior and our actions?
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that we don't appreciate God. I'm not saying that. It doesn't mean we don't love him. I'm talking about love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul. Is that really true for us? Or is it a goal that we grow towards? I think it's a goal that we grow towards
I
rather than
agree.
the reality of our lives. All right, I'm done.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's definitely something that we work toward. And it sounds pretty, to say, oh, I love God more than everything. It makes you look good. But like you said, it's not something that is innate to us. And I think it really comes to thinking about what you're willing to sacrifice, whether it be your favorite TV show or something bigger than that. Sometimes you'd rather do that instead of give that time to God. We do that. Oh, you know what? I'll let me do this first, and then I'll go read my Bible or whatever it might be for you. But it's so easy to do because I think we can kind of compartmentalize things,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and make things okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll get to it later, and
Yeah.
then most times it doesn't happen.
Right. Right.
Um, just to keep it real.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's easy to put God in a corner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's so easy to do that.
Yep.
And maybe it's because we think, well, we go back to FOMO, like we don't want to miss out on things.
Mm-hmm.
But think about all you could be missing out on because your actions are speaking louder than your words.
Yep. Yep. And that intentional prioritizing and centering is important. So for those of us who are really busy,
Mm-hmm.
one way you can do it. I think sometimes we look at things as either or rather than both and.
Mm-hmm.
So first things first, as adults, we do what we want to do, and we make
Mm-hmm.
time. We want to make time for it. Let's be honest here. If we really want to get up earlier, stay up later, we'll do it. How many times have we laid in bed, watched TV, and something got your attention? You know you were gonna go to sleep, but the show became so interesting in the movie, and you're up longer than you should have been.
Oh, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Or you got something to do in the morning that you really want to go to, and you'll wake up a little earlier. It's not like we can't do those things.
Mm-hmm.
Question is will we do them? And a part of that is learning how to intentionally prioritize God. And then also, make some adjustments in our lives. Not to fit God in, but to prioritize him first. So, like, I have to learn to wake up a little earlier,
Mm-hmm.
spend some time with God, stay a little later at times, spend time with him. The other thing that will help you is this too, is learn to turn moments into prayer times.
Yeah.
So while you're traveling, driving in your car, you're praying. Maybe that morning you don't have a lot of time to sit down and actually read your Bible, but you got the Bible app and you play it while you're driving to your destination so you can get some word in you. Find ways to do these things. And then look
Mm-hmm.
at it like this. I show God, watch this, y'all, how much I love him also by how well I care for the people around me. So say, like this week, we're doing more schoolwork with the kids. And it's requiring my schedule's different this week and last week, right? But watch this. I worship God and I'm showing God how much I love him by how I love them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not either or, it's both and.
Yeah.
So if I'm serving you, if you have a need, if I'm serving you, I'm actually worshiping God in that moment.
Yeah.
And I'm honoring God in that moment because I'm following the biblical principles of helping those who are in need.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than looking at it as, well, I'm not in my, got my hand up at that moment, but if I'm serving somebody and if I'm keeping in mind that I'm doing this to the glory of God, that becomes a moment of worship.
Yep.
So if I'm taking my kids somewhere, or if I'm cooking for something, or if I'm doing something for my wife at the time, I can't disconnect that from honoring God. That I honor God by honoring the people he assigns to me.
Yep.
What am I trying to tell you? That we can show God worship in a variety of ways. We can show God love and honor in a variety of ways. So if I'm loving my neighbor, I'm loving God.
Mm-hmm.
But this is why Paul says, do all that you do to the glory of God. So even if, I'm reading my Bible, and an emergency happens where I have to go attend to something because somebody got hurt or whatever like that,
Sure.
my honoring God is my ability to go do that to the glory of God.
Mm-hmm.
So throughout the day, we have to learn to be cognizant of God's presence, that he's with us all the time.
Yep.
And wherever I am, it may not be the way I want to do it, but maybe I'm praying in the car on the way there because I overslept,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm focusing on God throughout the day. I hope that makes sense to y'all.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at what we can't do, let's figure out what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
But also, watch this, y'all, create boundaries. Hear me out, y'all. Create boundaries. Give me 5 minutes. Is anybody dying right now? Is it a super emergency? Will you be okay for 10 minutes? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving these 10 minutes to God, or 10 minutes to clear my head.
Yep.
No is a wonderful word, and putting up boundaries is good also.
Yep.
So there's nothing wrong with saying, look, are you going to be okay for 15 minutes? Yes, just give me 15 minutes. You ever had a situation, it's emergency, hey, you call me back, and you all flustered, and you talk to them, and you're like, seriously? You made me
Yeah.
drop everything for this?
Yeah.
Even that deep.
Mm-hmm.
I get some emergencies, but also learn to put some boundaries up. If Jesus was known for getting away from the crowd to either sleep or pray. He put boundaries up, sleep or pray. And when they came to get him, he did get up and go help them, but he knew how to get aside.
Right.
All right, I'm sorry, Brandon. Go ahead.
And I think all of what I heard from what you just said is that timing is important. Timing in the sense of setting boundaries and saying, this is the time that I'm setting God aside for God, for my own healing, growth, whatever. But also timing in the sense of where you are having to kind of do things on the go, or being worship in the car, or, walking down the street. You never know what opportunities might arise from that. I'm a person who believes that nothing happens by accident.
Mm-hmm.
You could be seeing gospel music on your way walking to work. Someone hears that and then it blesses their life. Or say you're, driving somewhere, or, you're pulling over on the side of the road to help someone, and then that becomes a moment to witness. So I think sometimes too, we have to keep our minds open that, perhaps we're not able to do things in the way that we will want to, but there's a purpose to why we're having to do the things the way that we are.
Yep. find a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like if you ever, y'all should read this book called Practicing the Presence of God by a guy named Brother Lawrence. And what he talks about is is understanding that God's presence is with you everywhere that you go,
Mm-hmm.
which means you hold a prayer posture everywhere you go. So he talks about like pots and pans. So while you're washing the dishes, you're praying. While you're vacuuming, you're mindful of God. So those things help you out. So rather than feeling guilty because, you know, I didn't spend a whole half hour in the beginning of my day in prayer and study, why don't you make that a habit during the course of your day while you're driving somewhere, while you're doing X, Y, and Z? You're honoring God in everything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put some boundaries up. This is my time right here, and you don't have to feel guilty about that. Like I have a day, I have a certain day where there's a certain time. If it ain't an emergency, you won't have to wait, depending on who it is. Now, I saying that's not for everybody. Some people, answer the phone for it. But if it's not emergency, this is my time to kind of rest, to relax, to kind of enjoy something. The world ain't gonna fall apart if we don't do everything.
Yep.
Sometimes I think for some of us, we feel like if we're not doing everything, it's all gonna fall apart. God is still reigning. We're not.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people out there who like everything being on their shoulder because they want to be able to control everything. And they, yeah. But that's a whole nother lesson right there. They like to be needed, so they want to keep people needing them and then resent it at the same time. It's like the person who, y'all get out the kitchen, I'm trying to cook. And then when everybody in the kitchen, nobody cares about me. Well, you told me to get out the kitchen. Like, what you right? Nobody wants to help me. Well, you keep telling me get away.
You can't have it both ways.
Have it both ways.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is learn to honor God in everything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's good to have a prayer time, but it's better to have a prayer life too.
Yeah.
Where you're honoring and worshiping during the course of the day. Go ahead.
No, I think that is what takes things to a deeper level in your relationship with God. I think sometimes it's easy to make that, church hours.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning like go to church 11 a.m. on Sunday. Okay, that's my time with God.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll go on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. That's my time with God. But then there's so many other hours in the week. And just thinking in terms of relationships, when you siphon people into these specific times and that's it, that doesn't create room for growth.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we can make it a lot harder than what it really is. It's just being.
Absolutely.
With, So
Yeah.
I love, making it more of a conscious effort. And it can be creative ways. Writing a poem or reading a poem or having a worship hour in your shower,
Yeah.
To just really foster that growth and deeper connection.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you need it. So while you're, cleaning the house, maybe you got your earphones in or you got your phone by you and, the scriptures you hit play on Genesis or whatever you're reading and let faith comes by hearing too.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear the word. You don't have to sit there just with your Bible open. But if you're cognizant of what you're listening to, there are many ways to do this.
Yeah.
And being able to create the time to do these things, create the time, the moments with God. But I was reading a book on prayer, but going back to it again. Use moments to pray. Little things. Get to work. Lord, I thank you for protection on the way to work. You've kept me on my way here, and I pray that you would help me to, do what I got to do here and give me wisdom while I'm here. You're taking the kids somewhere. Lord, thank you for transportation. You're creating moments to have conversation.
Yep.
And that constant awareness will draw you close to him. And those things are possible, but I can't emphasize it enough. It's okay to create some boundaries so you can spend time with the Lord. you know, and it's at that moment, if it ain't gonna fall apart, leave a voicemail or text me. I'll call you back.
Yep.
So you don't have to feel guilty about it. Give me like 10 minutes. Everything okay?
Yep.
Everything. Oh, no, I just wanted to run something by you. Okay, I'll call you back in 15 minutes. In
And
that
the
15
beautiful
minutes,
thing is, sorry,
okay, no,
I was
good.
gonna say the beautiful thing is now that technology allows it for that to happen without you having to be, too conscious of it to feel guilty. Just set it up on your phone. If
Mm,
you can set it up for 30 minutes each day, just to have it be on silent,
yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, if you anything like there's a crisis. I know I ain't calling you first.
Oh,
You
no,
know,
no, no, see, like you said, I have that restricted
all
for
day,
certain people.
all day.
So if you're on the list, you're good.
I know, but I'm teasing you. But I think that's how we honor God.
Mhm.
Paul tells us everything you do, do it to the glory of God. Then he started giving examples. Wives submit to your husbands. Husbands love your wives. Fathers don't provoke your children to anger. Employees be good employees, and etc. etc. He starts listing. This is how I honor God and how I take care of people. I honor God and how I. So we look at it. We start looking at it that way.
Mhm.
Start looking at it that way. It makes it easier to honor God in everything that you do.
Yep.
So worship is constant because again, the way I love my family is a way that I honor God.
Yep.
The way I care for X, Y, and Z is the way I'm worshiping the Lord. It's just learning to be cognizant of it, aware of God, so that we can make sure we're spending time with Him with everything that we do
Mhm.
and work with Him
Yep.
and have some quiet, still time. Those of you that are parents, sometimes you especially more, it's more moms than dads for the most part. A lot, the guilt of I got to do everything and you be on this and in mom guilt and all that stuff. It's okay for 5 minutes. You used to ask people growing up, they like, you about to die? No, then hold on real quick. You know what I mean? That's what they used to say. Like, you know,
Oh,
um,
it's real.
you know, there's nothing wrong. Self care is actually important,
Mhm.
and that is different for everybody. But self care is important because eventually, if I'm no good to me, I'm no good to anybody.
Yep.
And self care doesn't mean be selfish. It just means that I learn to be a good steward over the me that God gave me. There's only one of you. Take care of you.
Mhm. You gotta make it last as long and as healthy as you can.
Mm-hmm. Manage your stress as much as you can in a stressful world,
Mm.
all that. But it's learning how to honor God in everything that we do. And that will keep us constantly connected with the Lord.
Absolutely.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good conversation.
Yeah. To spend time with God. Work with Him. Put some boundaries up. Set aside some time, but also honor God in everything that you do. And that's how we worship Him throughout the course of the day. Praise the Lord. I'm done. What's tomorrow?
So tomorrow is the Men's Safe House Ministry at 7 p.m. Where they're talking about real men talk, talking about
Is that in
life
person? It's both.
in person. Yep, in person as well as online. Just talking about real issues that men face. So definitely come on out. Let someone know to join you at 7 p.m. And then on Wednesday, of course, we have our Word Impact Gathering at 7 p.m. And then Saturday on Point Radio, 9 a.m. with Pastor Nick and Bishop is talking about things that are going on around the world.
Mhm.
So an opportunity for you to call in and ask them questions directly as well. And then, of course, we have a full day of worship on Sunday We have our virtual service at 8 a.m. That's online only. And then in person, we want you guys to come out with us at 11 a.m. and just be part of the worship experience that we've been having. It's been amazing so far. So we want you guys to be there.
Okay, good. Okay, so again, join us Wednesday. Sunday's Fifth Sunday. And go watch the service from yesterday if you missed it. You still have time to sow into our anniversary offering if you want to. And God's going to be good to you. We prayed for y'all, of course, for those who gave. Praying for God's favor, his promise, protection, provision on your life. And we just thank God for you all joining us for another Maximize Monday. And we will see you all next Monday. Bye, y'all.
Bye.